Hello, welcome to my channel if you're new here, and if you're not, welcome back. Today we're gonna be doing the Dress from Press Christmas tutorial, and I'll tell you guys right now, I struggled in part 1, but hopefully this tutorial makes it easier for you guys to go through it, so let's get started. So for the first part, it requires us to find Santa's workshop, and it's actually really easy. If you just keep heading straight and then make a right, the workshop should be right there. So the next part is pretty easy. You just have to put the gifts in the correct box. And if you're doing it by yourself, you only have to fill 7 boxes in 2 minutes. But if you're doing it with a bunch of other people, they will give you more boxes to fill out in those 2 minutes. I definitely recommend that you do it with other people because it is easier having all of you do it at once. You'll probably finish it quicker. I was honestly panicking doing this, but it's not that bad. You will complete it, trust. I was just like all over the place. At one point, I didn't even realize I had completed all 7 gifts, and I was just panicking and like doing more gifts. And then it stopped me because it said I reached 7, and I was like, what, already? So honestly, this part is super easy. You have nothing to worry about. Okay, so this is the part where I really struggled, and I'm good with obbies. The peppermints were fine, but once I got to the gummies, I had so much trouble just because I kept touching the water. So if you guys don't know, if you touch the water, you will freeze and like it'll send you back to the beginning. So as you can see, the gummies will make you jump, and you just have to like correctly guess when you can move on to the next gummy, because if not, you will have to start over. And I kid you not, guys, I had to do this over 15 times. I was just so overwhelmed, and honestly, I was like about to quit doing this whole quest just because of these gummies, but I finally managed to do it. After doing the gummies, I was like, okay, whatever, it can only get easier. I was wrong. Even though this part isn't as difficult, the next part is. I honestly felt like a couple times here, but you get used to it. Honestly, I think a really big part of this quest is just having patience, because if you don't, then you're never gonna be able to finish this quest. My advice is after you jump, you can actually go on to 2 other gummies before it makes its way around to you again. This just makes the process go a little bit faster. Honestly, I wish I would have started with that, but I only realized it towards the end. I got a little bold towards the end, which was crazy because I could have just died and have to do it all over again. But the candy canes are super easy. You just have to make sure to go right after they're done passing by you, and you should be fine. I think this was the easiest part of the whole quest, and I would say the hardest part was definitely jumping on those gummies, getting into the next one, because it would say I stepped into the water when I didn't, and I know I didn't, but I would freeze and it'd end up sending me back to the beginning all over again, which was so stressful. But look, we finished the part of the obby that was the hardest for me, and then I guess I would say this was the second hardest because I was struggling to climb these peppermints for a good like 10 minutes. As you can see, there is a certain way to get to the top, and I hadn't realized that before until I fell down a bunch of times, went back and looked at the whole placement of the peppermints. So yes, you have to follow a line to finally reach the top. So if you guys want to go back and like take a screenshot of the line that I showed, it'd definitely be so much easier. Like I said before, this does require patience because you are gonna fall a lot or like step on the wrong peppermint and have to go back just like how I did. So honestly, the struggle is real and I get it, but it only gets easier after this. If you found the obby easy and were able to do it in like less than 15 minutes, then honestly the rest of this quest is super easy. But I have heard that the final part was a bit difficult for some people. I thought it was pretty easy, so I guess we'll find out. So if you participated in the Summer Mermaid event, this game is very similar to that. You basically swipe to avoid any objects, and then you go through the wreaths to give you a speed boost, and basically that's all you have to do. It takes like a minute or so, and I honestly really enjoyed this because it did bring me back to when I was trying to race everyone for the mermaid set, except this time you don't have to race anybody, you just have to get through it. So I would say that this is definitely the easiest game in the whole quest. After you're done with that, it will teleport you here where you're gonna take the first sleigh, and it's going to take you to a fountain where you have to put in a code to receive a mystery badge. Now, I have the code for you guys. I found it somewhere on Twitter, so thank God for the person who found it, because apparently you just had to look around the map and find notes to find the actual code, but I could not find them anywhere, so I'm just gonna give you guys the code that I found on Twitter. So here's a fountain, and basically just type in the same thing that I do. After you do that, it's gonna say that you received a badge, and then we're gonna head off to continue the rest of the quest. So if you turn around, you should see 2 exits. Take the one on the left because it's gonna lead you to where we need to go. Now, it's gonna send you on a long walk, but eventually when you do reach the other side, there's gonna be a door there, and that is officially part 3 of the quest. Now, for part 3 of this quest, we are met with a sealed door that we have to open. So basically, you just have to stop the yellow bar on the green, and eventually it'll open up the door. Okay, so for the boss fight, you're gonna wanna throw the presents that fall on the ground towards Santa, because that is going to decrease his health. You're gonna want to watch out for his attacks, especially like those hoops. He'll like jump on the ground and throw a bunch of hoops at you, and you just want to jump over them because you will lose health easily. Honestly, it's kind of a lot, and I know it seems like a lot for my video. It is. I was struggling. I was sweating. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna get me. And it just feels like there's so much happening at the same time that it is super overwhelming. But if I can do this by myself, you guys can definitely do it with other people, and it'll finish super quickly. Just don't forget to like free some time to do this, because if you think that you're gonna get this done in like 30 minutes, you're not. So please just free up some time, because the reward at the end is definitely worth it. Now, after you've defeated Santa Claus, you're gonna have to do it one more time, and I know. Trust me, I know. I'm stressed too. And I know it's so annoying. You will take a hit at the beginning. I don't know why they did that. That's evil. But basically, you just have to do the same thing. Avoid his attacks. Throw the presents at him. It's a little bit more trickier because this time, like, he can follow you around. And honestly, I was just freaking out. But again, just be patient, because you are going to get through it. And when you throw that last present and defeat Santa Claus, you are officially done with the Dress to Impress Christmas quest. Congrats, you've officially finished the quest. Super proud of you. I knew you guys could do it. If you guys want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, and also follow my other social medias to keep updated on things that I do and will post. That is all for now. I'll see you guys soon. Oh, and happy holidays.